What is up? February 7th weekly update. Highlight this week is actually on Wednesday. I I spent about an hour to an hour and a half just sitting down and talking with comedians, and it was actually really nice. Um, and it actually kind of paid off the very next day because earlier in that Wednesday, I went and I did two sets. I did two sets that night, Wednesday, and that mic that I was at for my third set of the night was basically the last one. And I got to talking with them so much that I actually ended up just forgetting about my spot on the list, and I missed my spot and the mic was over by the time I realized, like, oh yeah, let me go check. Let me go check and see if I'm gonna go up. But so those two sets that I did beforehand, um, I had been I did the set that I've been working on as of late, and it's the same thing where I get people to chuckle, but I don't get them to laugh, right? And I'm like, why is that? What is that? There's something wrong. And so when I got to the third mic where I sat down and talked with all those comedians, I actually brought that up. Like I was talking to them, and we were. It didn't start off this way, but we were just talking, laughing, making jokes. Um, one of the comedians, she's really into frogs, so we were talking about frogs for a little bit, and then uh, eventually got to comedy. How long we've all been doing it, and I'm coming up on 4 years in a few weeks on February 15th. So actually, just a week, just 8 days from now, I'll be at 4 years of doing comedy. And I'm talking to them about like how it is that when I go on stage, I get the people's audience, I get the people's audience, I get the people's attention. I hold the audience's attention, and I go through my jokes and I do my jokes, but they're not laughing. They're like giggling or like chuckling, but they're not like laughing out loud, which is the thing that I want. And so one of the comedians told me that like maybe something I need to do is that like uh it's like people have this expectation of you. They have this idea of like who they think you are. And so he says that like for him what he does is that he goes up there and he projects to them who it is that they think he is, and then he makes fun of that. So he said that he'll go up there, and one of his jokes is something like, all right, I know I'm not the most attractive guy in the world, but that doesn't mean I don't get laid. All right, like I still get laid, right? And that's what he said, and I laughed. I'm like, all right, I get it. So it's like it's a matter of understanding your own self-awareness. It's a matter of having self-awareness about who you are and how people perceive you, and then playing with that and making fun of that. And so that was kind of like the same conclusion that I arrived to the previous week, after talking with my comic buddy in San Antonio after that show on Friday at the Blind Tiger. And it was cool. Like it was cool because I was bonding with other comics over like the struggles of being a comic and trying to get people to laugh. Um, which was something I've been much more intentional about. I know I mentioned in a weekly update prior to this one that I've been much more intentional about like hanging out with comics and socializing, networking, um, and building friendships. And it's been cool because you get to know one person, and then they're talking to someone else, and you get to know them, and then you get comfortable with them, and then they're talking to someone else, and you get to know them. It takes time, but it's cool because all that socializing and networking and connecting with other comedians is actually like leading to me helping is actually leading to help for me to figure out how it is I need to be funny, or how it is that I can be funny for audiences and stuff. And that was really awesome. So come Thursday, right? After all those conversations, um, I wanted to write, I really did, but I didn't have a chance because I had to get a bunch of work done for work, and I didn't want to do it, but I have to do it because that's still what pays the bills, and I'm thankful for that for sure. But it just meant that I had no time to sit down with my act. So when it came time to do the mic, um, I still had the same set that I had from Wednesday, right? But taking in mind what it is that I had talked about on Wednesday and then the previous weekend on Saturday, um, I sat with my set for maybe 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, um, on Thursday before I was gonna go on stage, and I was like, "All right, think about you, think about what the audience thinks about what you look like, and then how do you set that expectation with these jokes, and then tell these jokes with that new perspective in mind?" And all I did was I changed one line in the very beginning of my set. And and I started laughing when I read it when I was reading through the set because it's like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense now. Like it's I need to change the wording and the pacing of the jokes, but like the jokes themselves and what's the underlying funny part about it stands out so much more. And that one line I changed was it went from I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram to I'm a really petty person, especially on Instagram. And I did that Thursday at the first set and people laughed at the first joke. And I just thought like, "Oh my gosh. Like that's all I needed to do. That's all I needed to do." And then from there I kept going. I went into the rest of the set and all the other jokes they I had trouble getting them out correctly cuz I still hadn't rewritten them in with the idea in mind of it's me being petty, but I could see it. I'm like, "Oh, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Like this is what I've been trying to say is that I'm actually really petty. Like I'm not. I know I'm not. But it's the idea behind it and the thoughts behind it that is encapsulated by that pettiness, right? Um, and then it's the fact that audiences see me as a confident person who's smart and articulate and well mannered, right? But then I'm going up there and I'm like, actually, I'm really petty, right? Like, it looks like I would be above pettiness, but it's like, no, I'm actually super petty. I'm very petty. And here are the reasons why, you know? And I'm like, dude, this makes so much sense. It makes so much sense within the acts and with the jokes that I was just like, all right, like this is the next thing I need to do is like I need to rewrite this set with pettiness in mind, right? And I haven't done it yet because then Friday I had to keep studying for work. Right, that was the work that I was doing. I had a quiz coming up on Friday for work, and I had to make sure I passed it. I had to make sure I passed it. So studied studied Thursday and Friday, and when I took the test, I missed one question. I know I missed one question. All the others, I'm like, this is it, 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 this is it. So I was really, really happy about that. Um, and that one question I missed was a question that I did not study for because I didn't know it was going to be on that quiz. It was kind of like one of those like, hey, let's see who knows this, right? Um, so oh well. But all that to say, yeah, I had to study, so I didn't get a chance to rewrite the set with the newfound understanding of myself and audience's expectations of me. And that's where we're at. That's the highlight is that like I think I figured out how to make at least this set work for me. And I need to sit down and rewrite it, and I'm going to. It's just when I have the chance. You know, today I got to work. And then tomorrow I don't even know if there's going to be any mics because tomorrow's the Super Bowl. So to be determined. And then I work Monday too. So probably the next chance I'll get to actually rewrite the set, maybe like Monday morning, Monday afternoon. But that's just part of having a job, right? So, oh well. But slow and steady incremental progress is what I'm content with. And I feel like I'm doing that. I feel like I'm getting there. So other than that, I mean, there really isn't anything else honestly worth mentioning other than, you know, just living life, right? So I'm going to leave it at that. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to do so. And have a blessed day as well. Bye bye.